Brian Seymour here, Director of Instructional Technology for Pickerton Local Schools. You know what? I'm feeling I need to be a little updated today. So, a lot of you have been asking over the summer, well, Google updates a bunch, so what's going to happen when I come back to school? Is Google going to be different? Is Google going to be the same? What are some of the new functions that Google's come out with? So today, on Seymour Educate Podcast, we're going to take a look at those newest updates for Google and what to expect when you come back to school and what's going to be different from Google. So let's take a look at some of the most common updates and some of the things that you use. So we're going to talk a little bit about the main page, a little bit of Gmail, a little bit on Drive, a little bit on Classroom, and then also a little bit on dealing with the calendars. So probably for me, the most exciting update that Google had was dealing with your Waffle, so your little app launcher that you have up here. So before, when you clicked on this, you used to only get 3 rows or 4 rows. Now you get an additional row down here so you can have even more things up inside of here. And the other thing that was annoying was these were all locked. These were all gridded and you couldn't really move them around. Well, guess what? Now all you do is click and drag and you can move these around wherever you want them at. So if something doesn't work for you, if you don't want the search button here, you can drag it all the way down here to the bottom and never see it again. Or if you want something like maps brought up here, just click and drag and you can move those all around and make your Waffle whatever it is that you want and however it's relevant for you. All right. Step number 2 is in Gmail. So if we go to the app launcher and we click on Gmail, over here in the gears, we're going to go to settings. And when we look at settings, one of the things that used to be a lab that is now a definitive thing that is set in here is the undo. So about part of the way down here, we get to this thing that says undo send. You want to make sure that this is enabled, because if this is enabled, you can then set the cancellation period to whatever you want, up to 30 seconds, and you have that long to unsend an email. So basically what happens is Google gets in there, you send the email, and then they hold your email for 30 seconds. And then in those 30 seconds, you have that amount of time to say, you know what? I want that back. So let's give it a try here. So let's say if I'm sending, we'll pick Justin Jones, who I just talked to a little bit ago, and we'll talk about iPad updates. Okay, and I send an email, whatever. I'm just going to type some random words in here, and then I hit send, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to add an attachment to that. Up here at the top, it says your message has been sent. Undo or view the message. You have 30 seconds to click undo, and it says undoing, and it brings your message back. So now you can make any of those changes up to that 30 seconds worth of time to be able to get that message to come back. All right? So make sure that that part is activated. All right, so really for Google, Gmail, that's about it. We're going to discard that. And the other couple things that I want to show you is in Drive. All right. So one of the things you'll notice is over here on the left-hand side, we now have a thing that says Google Photos. And when you open up Google Photos, you can now use this to store any photos that you may want. And once again, it's in Google. Anybody that has this now has unlimited photo storage with this. All right, so just be careful what kind of pictures you're putting in there, folks. Remember, everything that's in here is public record, so just be careful with that. All right, the other option that you have, if we go back to Drive, is when you are sharing something. So let's say I wanted to share this document here. I'd go up to the little person like we normally do, and then we're going to click on Advanced. And when we click on Advanced, we get some more options that come up. So this is where you could type in, I could type Justin in here if I wanted to, and I could share with him. Now, down here at the bottom, here are the two new updates to this. So if you clicked on this first one, it would say prevent editors from changing access and adding new people. So let's say if I wanted to share this with Justin, but you know what, Justin, I don't want you adding anybody else to this list, so I would click that one. All right, so now you can see nobody can add any changes to this whatsoever, okay? if I want to disable the option to download, print, or copy for commenters and viewers. So let's say you have something that you consider really important, really top secret, really secure document that you want people to be able to look at online, but you don't want them to be able to download a copy of it or download or print a copy of it. Okay? So if you click on this bottom one and you go back to when they share it, you go back to the print, file print, that option will be eliminated. They will not be able to print at all on this document. Okay, so just two little things that are able to be added to this as well. So we're gonna cancel that. Okay, and we're not going to add Justin to this, so we're gonna cancel that and done. Okay. The other new thing in Google Drive is if you go New and then you go down to More, there is now this piece on here that says Google My Map. So if you click on that, it actually pulls up Google Maps. So those of you that possibly are doing something with social studies or cultural awareness, you can start to add different layers onto this. And as you add different layers onto this, it will actually allow you to manipulate and do different things. You can look at lines. You can add a driving route to this. All right, so you can click on this and it'll tell you exactly where everything's at. You can type in, see, walking, so from A to B. So if we wanted to say Pickerington, Ohio, and we wanted to walk all the way to Walt Disney World, we can do that. And it will add that layer into there. So now there's our path of exactly how we would need to get from point A to point B. Okay. And then the nice thing about this is if we go back to Drive, it stores that map. So now the kids have access to that map at any given time that they would need it. Okay? And you can add multiple layers and multiple trips and things on here as you go through. So that was under New, More, and Google My Map. Okay? The next thing I want to show you is in Google Classroom, the new update. So if we go Google Classroom, unfortunately for some reason still gets stuck down here at the bottom. I don't know why. Come on, Google, put it back up there at the top where it belongs. And if we open up a class, so this is just a PLSD professional development class that I was playing around with. The big difference is we can now add more than one teacher to this. So a lot of you before were co-teaching and you're like, I'd really like to be able to have my kids work together on this. Now, as you can see, here's myself and Jen Russell, one of our principals. If you go to the About portion, so if you're the teacher of this, you can add more teachers. So you go to the About, and then you scroll down, and you say Invite Teacher. So anybody that's in here can be considered a teacher. So once again, we'll just pick on Justin Jones for being in here, and we'll hit Search, and there he is. And then we can go here, and we can hit Next. And then if we hit the invite button, it will send Justin an email that says, you have been invited to join the Pickerington Professional Development Plan, and then he would show up as the teacher. I believe you can have like 5, 6, or 7 teachers involved, so if this is something that you're doing building-wide, it could really do a really good job of adding these things, adding these multiple teachers in here. So we're going to say cancel just because we don't want Justin to get a random email wondering what's going on. All right, the other really cool thing that just came out, like it literally just came out 2 days ago, is the ISO updates. So when you add something into Google Classroom, the kids usually get an email, all right? But most of our kids are on their phones, and they want updates through their phones. So now Google Classroom will actually update directly and send the kids notifications of any type of new assignment, any type of notes from the teachers, any types of comments, anything that you put into Google Classroom, it'll send a notification back to the kid. So once again, just a nice way to add that communication, adding those bits and pieces into there. Okay. The last thing I want to show you, the last major update that Google's made here this summer, is in Google Calendar. So if we go to Google Calendar, and we create a new event, all right? The newest, biggest thing on here, everything looks the same except this. You can now start to add more attachments onto here. It's now linked directly to Google Drive. So anything that you have in your Google Drive, you can link directly. So let's say I wanted to attach, I don't know, let's say I wanted to attach this. Let's say I'm having a staff meeting. I want everybody in the staff to have the agenda. There's the agenda now. It'll come in the calendar invite. Let's say I want to have a TBT meeting. We can load up our data into there so everybody can have the data. Let's say I want to talk about a new program or a new app. I could link to an attachment on the new app. Anything that's involved in there, you can have all of those different pieces and parts in there. Okay? So, once again, feeling a little updated today. Wanted to give you guys a little bit of a glimpse as to what's going on with Google, what you're going to see when you come back to school, if you're not playing around with it over the summer. Hope you like this. If you did, please subscribe to the podcast, the YouTube page, and it'll tell you every single time one of the podcasts are updated or something new is here. So once again, thank you very much. Have a great day.